Hello to all dog lovers. Today we're going to dive into the amazing world of dog behavior and explore an intriguing question. Why do dogs sometimes bite their tails or paws? Have you noticed how your furry companion suddenly starts chasing its own tail or furiously nibbling at its paw? Perhaps this happens during an evening rest when the whole family gathers in the living room or early in the morning when you've just woken up. These moments might seem amusing, but there could be something more behind them than just your pet's playful mood. In this video, we'll reveal all possible reasons for such behavior, from ordinary physiological needs to serious medical problems. Have you prepared a notebook? This information could be extremely useful for anyone who cares about their four-legged friend. Trust me, knowing these details is truly necessary. Sometimes what seems like harmless tail biting could hide a serious problem requiring immediate intervention. First, it's important to understand that dogs can't tell us about their sensations with words. They have to express discomfort or pain through behavior. Biting their tail or paws is one such signal that can mean different things. It's a kind of language that we, as responsible owners, need to learn to understand and interpret. The first and most innocent reason is basic hygiene. When a dog bites or licks its paws, it might simply be cleaning them. Just as we wash our hands after a walk, our pets take care of their limbs' cleanliness. This is especially relevant after walking through mud or sand, when various particles can get stuck between their toes. If you look closely, you can notice how thoroughly the dog processes each toe, using teeth to remove stuck objects and tongue to clean the surface. This is a real ritual that many dogs perform after each walk. Did you know that dogs have special glands between their toes? These secrete a substance with a unique smell. When a dog licks its paws, it distributes this scent over its body. This is a kind of natural perfume that helps communicate with fellow dogs. Amazing, isn't it? Nature has thought of everything down to the smallest detail. These interdigital glands are part of dogs' complex communication system. The secretion contains pheromones, chemical signals that carry information about gender, age, status, and even emotional state of the animal. When a dog walks down the street, it leaves its scent on the surface it passes over, creating a kind of business card for other dogs. Interestingly, the intensity of secretion depends on the animal's emotional state. During moments of stress or excitement, the glands work more actively, which can cause more frequent paw licking. This explains why many dogs begin to intensively lick their paws in unfamiliar surroundings or after meeting new people. But what about the tail? Chasing one's own tail can simply be play. Puppies often chase their tails out of curiosity and for entertainment. Imagine what it's like to discover that you have a fluffy object that always follows you but never gets caught. This is a real adventure for a little puppy. Observations show that puppies usually start noticing their tail at the age of 2 to 3 months. At first, they might be frightened by this strange moving object, but soon playing with the tail becomes one of their favorite entertainments. Some animal behavior researchers suggest that tail chasing is also a form of self-stimulation, a way to deal with boredom. In nature, wild dogs and wolves spend most of their time searching for food, hunting, and social interactions. Domestic pets lack many of these natural activities, so they find alternative ways to entertain themselves. However, not everything is so simple and harmless. Now let's move on to more serious reasons when biting becomes frequent or intense. One common problem is parasites. Fleas, ticks, and other unwelcome guests can cause severe itching. The dog tries to relieve discomfort by biting and licking itchy areas of the body. Fleas especially often settle at the base of the tail, a place difficult for the dog to reach. This explains why pets sometimes attack this part of the body so furiously. Fleas are true masters of disguise. These tiny insects, only 2 to 3 millimeters in size, can jump distances up to 80 centimeters in height and 1.5 meters in length. They can move at speeds of up to 100 jumps per minute, making them practically elusive for the dog. An adult flea can drink an amount of blood exceeding its own weight by 15 times. Meanwhile, flea saliva contains anticoagulants and anesthetics, allowing them to feed unnoticed by the host. But fleas aren't the only parasites that can bother your pet. Demodex mites live in hair follicles and sebaceous glands of dog skin. In small quantities, these microscopic creatures exist in almost every dog and usually don't cause problems. However, when immunity weakens, their population can increase sharply, causing a condition known as demodicosis. This disease manifests as hair loss, skin redness, and severe itching, especially on the face, paws, and belly. Ear mites are yet another unpleasant neighbor that can settle in your pet. They live in the ear canal, feeding on secretions and dead skin cells. An infected dog often shakes its head, scratches its ears, and may rub its ears against furniture or carpet trying to relieve the itch. If a dog starts frequently scratching its ears or shaking its head, this is a serious reason to visit a veterinarian. Have you ever thought that dogs, like humans, can suffer from allergies? It's true. Allergic reactions are another common reason why dogs bite themselves. Plant pollen, certain foods, household chemicals, and even materials from which toys are made can cause itching and skin irritation. In such cases, a dog may persistently gnaw at its paws or other body parts, trying to relieve the agonizing sensation. Interestingly, dogs, like humans, have their seasonal allergies. In spring, many pets react to tree pollen, in summer to grasses and weeds, and in autumn to mold fungi. The list of potential allergens is enormous, from dust mites and dander from other animals to chemicals in shampoos and cleaning products. Food allergies in dogs are often caused by proteins found in beef, chicken, eggs, dairy products, soy, or wheat. Symptoms can manifest not only as skin reactions, but also as gastrointestinal disorders. Some breeds, such as Labrador retrievers, golden retrievers, and German shepherds, are more predisposed to food allergies. Imagine being constantly itchy with no way to scratch. It's absolute torture. Our pets experience the same thing, only they can't explain their condition to us. Itching in dogs can be so intense that animals literally can't stay still. They might suddenly jump up, roll on the floor, rub against furniture or carpets, and sometimes even whine from discomfort. Speaking of skin conditions, dermatitis inflammation of the skin can also cause a dog to bite itself. Dry skin, fungal infections, bacterial diseases, all these provoke itching and discomfort. Such problems often occur in humid weather or during shedding periods when the skin becomes more sensitive. Atopic dermatitis is one of the most common skin diseases in dogs. It's a chronic inflammatory skin disease caused by an allergic reaction to substances from the environment. Symptoms usually appear between 6 months and 3 years of age and often intensify with age. Dogs with atopic dermatitis most often bite and lick their paws, face, ears, armpits, groin, and belly. Seborrhea is another common skin disease in dogs. This condition disrupts the work of sebaceous glands, leading either to excessive skin dryness, dry seborrhea, or excessive oiliness, oily seborrhea. Both variants cause discomfort and itching. Dry seborrhea manifests as skin flaking and dandruff, while oily seborrhea presents with oily secretions, unpleasant odor, and inflammation. But the problem may not just be on the surface. Sometimes a dog bites its paws due to joint or bone problems. Arthritis, dislocations, sprains, fractures, and even foreign bodies such as splinters or thorns can cause pain. In such a situation, the animal tries to relieve suffering by licking or biting the painful area. Arthritis is especially common among older dogs and large breeds. With this disease, joints become inflamed, causing pain and limited mobility. Dogs with arthritis may limp, struggle to get up after rest, and avoid physical activity. They often lick painful joints, trying to reduce discomfort. Foreign bodies in paws are another common problem. Thorns, glass shards, small stones, plant seeds can get stuck between toes or pierce the paw pads. Some plants, like needlegrass, have seeds with sharp barbs that easily penetrate the skin and move deeper as the dog moves. In such cases, the animal may suddenly start limping, lifting its paw, or intensively licking it. Did you know that dogs can have neurological problems? Sometimes tail biting is associated with nervous system disorders. This condition is called tail dysesthesia. The dog feels unpleasant, sometimes painful sensations in its tail, although physically everything is fine with it. This resembles phantom pains in humans, when a limb hurts that's no longer there. Limber tail syndrome, or swimmer's tail, is another neurological condition where a dog may experience discomfort in the tail area. This disease is often found in working breeds such as Labradors, Pointers, and Setters, especially after intense physical activity, swimming in cold water, or prolonged stay in a tight crate. The tail becomes limp, hangs down, and the dog may show anxiety, bite, or lick the base of the tail. Another neurological problem is peripheral neuropathy, where nerves going to the limbs are damaged. Dogs with this disease may experience numbness, tingling, or painful sensations in their paws, causing constant licking or biting of limbs. But what if there are no physical problems, yet the dog still gnaws at itself? Here we move to the psychological aspects of the problem. And yes, dogs have psychological disorders too. Boredom and lack of physical activity are common causes of strange behavior in dogs. Imagine being locked within four walls without TV, internet, or books. How long could you maintain calm? Dogs are active animals that require physical and mental loads. Without a proper amount of exercise and play, they begin to seek ways of self-stimulation, and tail chasing can become one such activity. Studies show that different dog breeds have different needs for physical activity. Working breeds such as Border Collies, Huskies, or Jack Russell Terriers need several hours of active exercise daily. If these needs aren't met, dogs may exhibit destructive behavior, including self-harm. Interestingly, boredom can manifest not only as tail chasing, but in other forms of repetitive behavior. Some dogs start digging holes on the couch or in the garden, others chew furniture, while others begin barking for no apparent reason. All these are ways to relieve accumulated tension and occupy themselves with something interesting. Now let's talk about stress and anxiety. Yes, dogs have nervous disorders too. Moving to a new home, the appearance of a new family member, changing daily routines. All this can cause stress for your pet. In response to anxiety, a dog may begin to obsessively lick or bite itself. This is a form of self-soothing, similar to how some people bite their nails in moments of anxiety. Separation anxiety is one of the most common forms of anxiety in dogs. When the owner leaves home, some pets experience real panic. They may bark, howl, destroy objects, relieve themselves in inappropriate places, and of course, lick and bite themselves. Statistics show that 15 to 20% of all dogs suffer to some degree from separation anxiety. Interestingly, even the breed affects stress levels. Some breeds, like Border Collies, German Shepherds, and Australian Shepherds, are more prone to anxiety disorders due to their high intelligence and sensitivity. On the other hand, breeds like Bulldogs, Basset Hounds, and Pugs are usually calmer and more phlegmatic. There's even a concept of obsessive-compulsive disorder in dogs. This is a condition where an animal repeatedly performs the same actions for no apparent reason. Chasing its tail, licking the same spot until bald patches appear, all this could be a manifestation of OCD. Such problems are often found in dogs that have experienced trauma or have been in stressful situations for extended periods. OCD in dogs can manifest in various forms. Some animals constantly chase their tails, others endlessly circle in place, while others obsessively lick certain parts of their body. There are dogs that stare at walls for hours or pursue imaginary objects like shadows or light reflections. All these actions can be performed so frequently and intensely that they interfere with the animal's normal life. Studies show that OCD may have a genetic predisposition. Dobermans, for example, often exhibit obsessive licking of their flanks, while Bull Terriers are prone to tail chasing. Treatment of such disorders usually requires a comprehensive approach, including behavioral therapy and, in some cases, medication. Interesting fact: some breeds are more prone to obsessive behavior. For example, Bull Terriers and German Shepherds chase their tails more often than others, while Labradors and Golden Retrievers tend to excessively lick their paws. This is related to both genetic factors and character traits of certain breeds. Statistics show that Bull Terriers are 8 times more likely to chase their tails than dogs of other breeds. Scientists suggest this is linked to a mutation in the CDH2 gene, which is responsible for nervous system development. This same mutation may be responsible for increased risk of obsessive-compulsive disorder in humans, confirming the common biological basis of mental disorders across different species. So, how do you know if your pet's behavior is normal, or if you should raise the alarm? It all depends on frequency and intensity. If a dog occasionally nibbles at its paws after a walk or plays with its tail when bored, that's completely normal. But if the animal does this constantly, to the point of wounds, hair loss, or visible discomfort, it's definitely time to see a veterinarian. Here are several alarming signs to pay attention to. The dog bites or licks the same spot for more than 5 minutes consecutively, several times a day. Bald patches, redness, ulcers, or crusts appear on the skin. Your pet wakes up at night to bite or lick itself. The animal seems irritable, anxious, or depressed. The dog has stopped being interested in usual activities like walks or games. During biting or licking, the pet whines, yelps, or otherwise expresses discomfort. If you notice any of these signs, don't delay visiting a specialist. Early treatment will help prevent the development of serious complications. Now let's talk about what you can do at home to help your four-legged friend. First, thorough hygiene. Regularly inspect your pet for parasites, especially in warm weather. Use special anti-parasitic products recommended by your veterinarian. After walks, wash their paws, especially if the dog walked in places with potential allergens, such as tall grass. Experts recommend checking a dog's coat for parasites at least once a week, especially from April to October, when flea and tick activity peaks. For checking, use a comb with fine teeth, running it against hair growth to see the skin. Pay special attention to areas with thin skin, inner thighs, belly, armpits, and behind the ears. For flea and tick prevention, there are many products available today. Spot-on treatments, sprays, collars, tablets. Each method has its advantages and disadvantages. For example, spot-on treatments act quickly but require regular application, usually once a month. Anti-parasitic collars can protect the dog for up to 8 months but aren't suitable for animals with sensitive skin or allergies. After walks, it's recommended not only to wash paws but also to check them for foreign bodies. Check between toes as well as paw pads. If you notice a stuck object, carefully remove it with tweezers, then rinse the wound with antiseptic. This is especially important during flowering periods of ragweed, wormwood, and other allergenic plants. Second, ensure sufficient physical activity. Daily walks, ball games, running all, this helps the dog release energy and reduce stress levels. Puzzle toys, treat puzzles, learning new commands. These are great ways to engage your pet's mind. Studies show that dogs who get enough physical activity are 40% less likely to exhibit destructive behavior, including self-harm. Both quantity and quality of exercise matter. 2 or 3 short but intense sessions throughout the day can be more effective than one long but monotonous walk. Different breeds and ages of dogs require different activity levels. Young dogs of working breeds such as Border Collies or Australian Shepherds need at least 2 hours of active exercise daily. Companion dogs like Pugs or Shih Tzus need 30 to 40 minutes of moderate activity. Elderly dogs usually need shorter but more frequent walks, with an emphasis on mental stimulation rather than physical exertion. Puzzle toys are an excellent way to combat boredom, especially when the owner isn't home. There are toys of varying difficulty levels, from simple ones where treats just need to be extracted from a hole to complex puzzles with multiple stages of solution. Many owners note that after introducing such toys into their dog's daily routine, obsessive behavior, including tail and paw biting, notably decreases. Third, pay attention to nutrition. Poor quality food can cause allergic reactions or digestive problems, which in turn can manifest as skin symptoms. Consult with a veterinarian about a suitable diet for your dog. Nutritionists point to a connection between skin health and diet quality. A dog's diet should include sufficient amounts of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, which support healthy skin and coat. The main sources of these substances are fish oil, flaxseed, olive oil. Some foods are specially enriched with these supplements. The presence of B vitamins, zinc, and biotin in the diet is also important. Deficiency of these substances often manifests as skin problems, flaking, dryness, hair loss. Sources of B vitamins are meat, liver, eggs. Zinc sources include beef, turkey, pumpkin seeds. Biotin sources include egg yolk, liver, kidneys. If you suspect food allergies, a veterinarian may recommend an elimination diet. This is a special diet where all potential allergens are excluded from the dog's diet, then gradually, one by one, reintroduced to identify the specific product causing the reaction. Such a diet can last from 8 to 12 weeks and requires strict adherence. Fourth, create a calm, predictable environment at home. Establish a daily routine and stick to it. Avoid loud sounds and sudden movements if you notice they frighten your pet. Provide the dog with a cozy resting place where it can go when it wants to be alone. Psychologists specializing in animal behavior note that dogs are creatures that love predictability. A regular daily routine helps reduce stress and anxiety levels. Try to feed your dog, walk it, and play with it at the same time each day. This creates a sense of stability and security, which is especially important for animals with increased anxiety. Interestingly, even the arrangement of objects in the house can affect stress levels in dogs. Studies show that frequent furniture rearrangements, renovations, or decor changes can cause anxiety in sensitive pets. If you need to make changes to your surroundings, do so gradually, giving the dog time to get used to each change. It's very important to provide the dog with a safe space, a place where it can hide when feeling stressed or tired. This could be a crate with an open door covered with cloth, a special house, or just a corner with a favorite bed. Teach all family members, especially children, to respect this space and not disturb the dog when it's there. The sound environment also matters. Many dogs are sensitive to loud or sharp sounds, thunder, fireworks, sirens. But even ordinary household noises, a working vacuum cleaner, blender, drill can cause discomfort. If you notice your pet reacts to certain sounds, try to minimize their impact. Some dogs are helped by background music or white noise, which masks frightening sounds. But remember, self-treatment can be dangerous. If the problem isn't resolved with home measures or looks serious from the start, don't delay visiting a veterinarian. A professional will conduct an examination, order necessary tests, and select effective treatment. It's important to note that diagnosis can be complex and require several visits. Often, a veterinarian needs to rule out various physical causes before considering psychological factors. This may include blood tests, skin scrapings, allergy tests, X-rays, or even biopsies. For example, allergy diagnosis may require an intradermal test where minimal doses of various allergens are injected under the dog's skin and the reaction is evaluated. This test is considered the gold standard for identifying allergies, but requires sedation of the animal and must be conducted by a specialist dermatologist. To detect the parasites, microscopic examination of skin or hair scrapings is usually used. This method allows detection not only of adult parasites, but also their eggs or larvae, which may be invisible to the naked eye. When joint problems are suspected, radiological examination is often required. Modern veterinary clinics may also offer more complex imaging methods, such as MRI or CT, which allow detailed examination not only of bones, but also soft tissues. And one more important point, never punish your dog for biting itself. Such behavior isn't disobedience, but a signal of discomfort. Punishment will only exacerbate stress and may lead to worsening of the problem. Studies show that negative reinforcement punishment, shouting, physical impact, not only doesn't stop unwanted behavior, but can intensify it. The dog doesn't understand what it's being punished for and experiences additional stress, which can strengthen obsessive behavior. Instead, use positive reinforcement methods, distract the dog from self-harming behavior, and encourage desirable actions with treats, praise, or play. Veterinarians can use various treatment methods depending on the cause of the problem. These may include medications for parasites, antihistamines for allergies, antibiotics for infections, anti-inflammatory drugs for joint problems, and even antidepressants for psychological disorders. Additionally, a special diet, physiotherapy, or behavioral therapy may be recommended. Modern veterinary pharmacology offers a wide spectrum of preparations for treating various conditions. For example, to combat fleas and ticks, preparations such as fipronil, imidacloprid, selamectin are used. They block the nervous system of parasites, causing their paralysis and death, but are safe for dogs when used correctly. For allergic reactions, antihistamines such as diphenhydramine or cetirizine are often prescribed, which block the action of histamine A substance, causing itching and inflammation. In more serious cases, corticosteroids like prednisolone may be used, which have powerful anti-inflammatory effects but have side effects with prolonged use. For bacterial skin infections, antibiotics are prescribed, the choice of which depends on the type of pathogen. Most commonly used are cephalosporins, amoxicillin with clavulanic acid, or fluoroquinolones. The treatment course usually lasts from 2 to 4 weeks, sometimes longer for deep or chronic infections. For treating joint problems, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, such as carprofen or meloxicam are used, which reduce pain and inflammation. Additionally, chondroprotectors may be prescribed substances that support cartilage health, glucosamine, chondroitin, methylsulfonylmethane, MSM. For psychological disorders, veterinarians may prescribe psychotropic medications. For example, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs, such as fluoxetine or clomipramine, are often used for obsessive-compulsive disorder. These medications increase serotonin levels in the brain, which helps reduce anxiety and obsessive behavior. However, medication is just part of the therapy. Non-medicinal methods play an equally important role: special diet, physiotherapy, behavior modification. Physiotherapy is becoming increasingly popular in veterinary practice, especially for treating joint and muscle problems. It may include laser therapy, ultrasound, electrical stimulation, acupuncture, massage, stretching exercises, and muscle strengthening. These methods help reduce pain, improve joint mobility, and accelerate tissue healing. Behavioral therapy is a key element in treating psychological disorders in dogs. It may include desensitization techniques, gradual habituation to stress factors, counter-conditioning, replacing an undesirable reaction with a desirable one, environmental management, changing conditions that provoke undesirable behavior, and other methods. What about home remedies? Some pet owners prefer non-traditional treatment methods. For example, coconut oil can soften dry skin, while oatmeal baths can relieve itching for certain types of dermatitis. However, before applying any home remedies, be sure to consult with a veterinarian. Coconut oil indeed has antiseptic and moisturizing properties due to its lauric acid content. It can help with mild forms of dermatitis, dry skin, and even has a moderate repellent effect against some parasites. However, it's important to use only organic, unrefined, high-quality oil and apply it in a thin layer to avoid excessive coat greasiness. Oatmeal baths are another popular home remedy. Oatmeal contains avenanthramides substances with anti-inflammatory action that help reduce itching and irritation. To prepare such a bath, grind a cup of oatmeal to powder consistency and add to warm water. Bathing time is about 10 minutes, after which the coat needs to be thoroughly rinsed with clean water and dried. Green tea, thanks to its polyphenol content, also has anti-inflammatory effects. Strong cooled tea can be used for compresses on irritated skin areas or for rinsing after bathing. Aloe vera is a plant known for its healing properties. Aloe gel contains vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and enzymes that promote wound healing and reduce inflammation. However, it's important to use only the gel from the inner part of the leaf, as the outer part and yellow sap between them contain aloin, which is toxic to dogs if swallowed. Apple cider vinegar can help with mild fungal infections and restore the acid-alkaline balance of the skin. It's diluted with water in a 1:3 ratio and used to wipe affected areas. However, this remedy isn't suitable for open wounds or severely irritated skin, as it can cause burning and worsen the problem. It's important to remember that home remedies can complement but not replace professional veterinary treatment. They are more suitable for supportive therapy or treating mild forms of skin problems. For serious diseases, severe itching, appearance of wounds, or infections, it's necessary to consult a veterinarian. So, we've covered the main reasons why dogs might bite their tails or paws. This could be a normal hygienic procedure, a sign of parasites, allergies, dermatitis, joint problems, neurological disorders, or psychological problems such as boredom, stress, and OCD. Let's recall the main points of our discussion. Occasional and brief tail or paw biting usually isn't concerning. It can be part of normal grooming or play. However, frequent, prolonged, or intense biting, especially if accompanied by visible skin damage or behavioral changes, requires attention. Physical causes include parasites, fleas, ticks, ear mites, allergic reactions to food or environment, skin diseases, dermatitis, seborrhea, problems with joints or bones, foreign bodies in paws, and neurological disorders. Psychological causes include boredom and lack of physical activity, stress and anxiety, including separation anxiety, as well as obsessive-compulsive disorder. For problem prevention, it's important to ensure regular pet hygiene, including antiparasitic treatment, sufficient physical and mental activity, quality nutrition, and a calm, predictable home environment. If alarming symptoms appear, you should immediately consult a veterinarian for diagnosis and treatment. Treatment may include medication therapy, antiparasitic, antihistamine, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory drugs, antidepressants, special diet, physiotherapy, behavioral therapy. Some home remedies may be used as additional measures, but only after consultation with a veterinarian. Remember that our four-legged friends can't tell us about their problems with words. They use body language and behavior. Our task is to be attentive and sensitive owners, notice alarming symptoms, and seek help in time. Studies show that about 30% of all veterinary visits are related to skin problems, and a significant portion of them are accompanied by excessive licking or biting. Early consultation with a specialist allows quicker diagnosis and treatment initiation, preventing complications and chronicity. Caring for a dog isn't just feeding and walking, it's also attention to its physical, and psychological condition. Observe your pet, notice changes in behavior, and don't ignore signals it sends. Dogs give us unconditional love and devotion, and our obligation is to respond with care and understanding. Our four-legged friends completely depend on us for health and well-being. They can't independently see a doctor or buy medicine at a pharmacy. They can only hope their human will notice the problem and help. Be that human for your dog, and it will repay you with boundless devotion and love. Thank you for being with us today. I hope this information will help you better understand your four-legged friend and provide it with a happy, healthy life. If you have questions or want to share your experience, leave comments below this video. Until next time in the world of amazing discoveries about our beloved pets.